First time I wore a shirt and tie was, I didn't want to, but I had to, representing somebody.
I hear that.
I know he's looking at me. He said, you better come in here with a shirt and tie on.
Hey, listen. We're here with the one and only Mr. Top 50 himself. New York basketball icon all over the world. Mr. Archibald.
Thank you.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Man, I'm kind of shaking right now. I've done over 500 interviews starting this podcast 4 years ago, and you name them, they've been on the show, man, but you are one of the guys that was on my bucket list, and I'm finally getting a chance
Not
to
a bucket list, bro. I'm here.
Now, right?
I'm here.
Definitely. Hopefully we get the extended version, but we just going to touch on a few things right now. What does the Bronx Basketball Hall of Fame mean to you?
Well, it brings a lot of us together. It's. I hate to say this on another note, but the only time we see each other is usually at somebody's funeral, somebody's leaving us, or in the hospital. So I think this is a blessing with Derek Goward that even though we lived in the same building, okay, it's a blessing. It should have been done 20, maybe 30 years ago. Okay, and I say that in my speech whenever I go to Harlem or Brooklyn or whatever, because, some of us are considered OGs now.
Yes.
And when you think about the people that mentored us, okay, people don't have a clue who they are. Okay, so I think that this is a blessing that he's bringing the new with not the old, but the new with the OGs, like Skinny Reed, Tom Sanders, and a lot of people, even though NYU was in the Bronx, a lot of people don't know about Tom Sanders. Okay, got 8, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, like some of the NBA players was talking about. He got 8 titles, okay, and with the Boston Celtics. People say that because it's not a big deal to them to play with a team, and back then it was a situation where there wasn't that many people that were free agents. See, Oscar Robertson started with Cincinnati, finished with Milwaukee, okay? But that's when free agency started, okay? Usually when you start with a team, you usually end with a team, and Boston probably has more guys that are retired that's in the Basketball Hall of Fame than anybody else. More than the Lakers, more than anybody you could think about. More than the Knicks, okay? Because back then in the 50s and the 60s when it was, I call it not the basketball era, but the Russell era, okay? There won't be another team ever to get 11 championships in 13 years. And the reason why he didn't get 12, okay, because he was hurt his last couple years and they didn't repeat. All right, so I say that to say that the basketball is, it's not like the one in Springfield. We have people, hopefully, that we will honor that probably maybe never will be in Springfield, but maybe so. Floyd got honored by Brooklyn, okay, Harlem, and also the Bronx because he was born in Brooklyn, but he moved to the Bronx when he went to CCNY. So people don't know that. People say, oh, where's Floyd from? He was from the Bronx, okay? Nate Archibald was born in Manhattan because people always say Harlem, on 18th Street. I call it Manhattan, okay? And I moved to the South Bronx, okay? And my loyalty was always to the Bronx because growing up, I don't remember Harlem.
Gotcha.
Okay, I remember the Bronx, living in the Patterson Projects. That's what I remember. And, when I talk to people about that, oh, you was born on 118th Street? Yeah, I was there for maybe a couple years, but we moved to the South Bronx and the Patterson Projects. And it was one of the greatest feelings to be a part of a housing project than ever I could imagine. Okay, because a lot of people think that, torn buildings, cars, and stuff like that. I told people when I grew up, and maybe the Lord was looking out for a lot of us, I was blessed. And not with talent and ability basketball-wise, but with all the things that surrounded people, okay, whether you live in the projects, whether you live in the tenements or not. I tell people that when you dream about not being a basketball player, but when you have a dream, I said at one time, just walking the streets of New York and stuff like that, I dreamt that I was part of the Knights of the Round Table. I had armor around me.
That's right.
Because there was so many things that was going on. People were getting shot. People were getting stabbed. You talk about it wasn't cocaine in the late 60s, 70s, okay? It became heroin, okay? My two brothers was on that, okay? So I had to get them out of there. But I think that because of a dream of playing sports, okay, it kept me from doing other things, okay? It was it wasn't a blessing that I played in the NBA. I tell people, no, it was my mentorship that helped me strive to get, first of all, an education, okay? Because this, and anybody who don't know, if they're listening, if you don't go to school, you can't play on the team.
That's right.
Okay? And with the coaches that mentored me, if you didn't keep your grades up, okay, you couldn't play on the team. So I failed off at Clinton in my sophomore year. And people say, well, you got kicked off. Whatever you want to know, that's what happens, fine. But coming from me, I'm saying I was negligent because I didn't go to class and do what I was supposed to do in class, okay? And all they was trying to do is give you a template of this is what's going to happen when you go to college, okay? You become a student athlete, and a lot of guys now leaving early and stuff like that to play or just get a chance to play in the I call it the biggest league, which is the NBA. But it's not a North American game anymore. You're talking about it's people from all over, okay? And I say people because they got men and women now.
Yeah.
Okay. We just saw the WNBA playoffs, and some of them ladies do go to school, okay, and get their education, but some of them are not from North America, okay? Even though they transfer from wherever they from.
Yeah.
You're talking about Brazil, France, Italy, to come here to go to school and get their education and also get a chance to play in the WNBA. And I think that if I have any kind of input with some of the guys, I would tell them to get their education first, because there are probably about 400 guys. We're talking about men that play in the NBA now. But when you look at the pyramid starts down here: elementary, junior high, high school, college, and then you talk about the NBA. But between the NBA, you talk about, I call it, it's called the G League now, which is like baseball. Okay, baseball has maybe 3 different facets before you get to the majors.
Yeah.
They got minor 1, minor 2, minor 3 before you move up. Well, the NBA has what they call a G League now. And some of them guys get drafted, okay, first and second round, and don't get a chance to play in the NBA for years. So my input to them is, whether I'm not going to mention any school, whether you go to university, you go to Division 1, 2, or 3, get your education, because if you get a chance to play, you can always, when you retire, fall back on your education. And people say, well, what happened with you? And I'm proud to say that I didn't graduate on time when I went to, it was called Texas Western.
Yes.
It became the University of Texas El Paso. I told people I had to go back to summer school because the coach was saying, I'm not giving you a degree, okay, just because you're playing in the NBA.
Right.
But I had promised my mother that I was going to get my undergrad degree. And she knew that I got drafted and I was playing and stuff like that. So I moved her out to Long Island, out to Roosevelt, and she was saying that, okay, I know that you're playing in the NBA, but where's my degree at? And I'm saying, your degree? She said, yeah. I don't care about your basketball career. I want you to go to school and get my degree back. Okay, so I went 2-3 years in the summer. You can ask anybody, and I told people I graduated. And a lot of guys, I'm gonna give you a couple names that went back, okay, because they felt that they owed it to themselves. Vince Carter, okay, you talk about Stephen Curry, okay, those guys went back, and you're saying, damn, them guys, well, I'm talking about Curry now, making $30-40 million in a year.
Why go back, right?
Okay, why go back? But I think that he's saying that I want to, when I communicate and interact with youngsters, I want them to know that I went back and got my education. It doesn't matter how much money I made, but I want to make sure that they know that I have a college degree. I might not be the smartest person in the world, but I went back and got a college degree.
You reached the highest peak in basketball, but yet you came back to the city and gave it yourself to youngsters. Like, what does that mean to you? Because I know what it means to us hearing that and seeing that.
It meant that the people, and I did a little bit of that, but I think that they molded me. Okay, you talking about Floyd Lane, Hilton White, Miles Dorch, Skinny Reed, Ray Felix. They molded me, and I'm watching what they do for us. Okay, so and people always say, well, you gave it back. No, it's part of a torch, not like the Olympics, but it's a torch that they passed on to you, and if it's not in here, then you're not going to do it. Okay, so I felt that if I could help more people like they did, then the gratification would be, the rewards would be, thank you. That's what the rewards is. No financial or monetary rewards or stuff like that. The rewards would be thank you, okay? And I get that all the time. Guys says, man, we miss you. We want to run a tournament here. I said, well, I'm going to come and watch y'all. But I said, I'm not retired, but I'll sit there and watch. I'm a spectator now, okay? What I did for y'all, that you have to do for others.
Well, one of the things that I'm doing now with this podcast is making sure we keep New York City history alive. And it's because of gentlemen like yourself that we want to make sure that the kids and the next generation and the generation after that from New York City, because you're known worldwide, but we want to make sure the kids coming up know who Nate Tiny Archibald is and what you stand for, man. So we definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can get a extended sit down and we can.
Oh yeah, we could do that, because when people talk about the basketball part, I don't really go into that.
Yes.
Okay, I tell people that, some of us struggled early on when we was in school. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, I got my diploma from DeWitt Clinton. I went and got my degree, undergrad degree, from University of Texas El Paso, because the name changed. But I also went back to school, okay? And I'm going up to Harvard to talk to the people and see if I could get back in school, because I got a master's from Fordham, and I got a PD, professional degree in supervision and administration from Fordham. But you know this, as you go up, and it's not the ladder, as you go up in education, it costs more.
Yes.
Okay, so my thing is, can somebody defrate the cost so I could get in?
Right,
okay, because I think that I could excel that way, but I don't want to have the weight on me where I got to do something financially where I have other things I have to do to pay bills.
And this is so funny that you mentioned this before, right? It was through this show that I learned that you only played 1 year in high school. I didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't know that. And I think I posted on my page, your team, I think you guys had like 24, 27 people on the team.
Right.
I thought Alexander Hamilton had a lot of players. When I saw this picture, I couldn't believe it.
Right.
I think it was the 1967 team.
Right.
Yes. And I couldn't.
Might have been more than that, but
Because it was an all boys school, right?
right.
Which I didn't
well,
know.
not necessarily. This is what the and I was great with John Mathis, because me and him, that was like my right hand guy. He was up at Kennedy. Kennedy's co-ed, but John would have 30 guys on his varsity. He would have 30 or 40 guys on his JV. And then he also had a freshman team.
So Clinton wasn't all boys?
It was all boys at that time. It was all boys.
Gotcha.
And the philosophy was that some of us are going to fail off. Some of us going to be not diligent to do what we're supposed to do. Okay, and that's in the classroom. And people always say, well, was at that time, did you think that you was good enough? I don't know that. Okay, I know that you only play X amount of games in high school. But in the summertime, I see all of those guys in the summertime. Ask them what kind of work that they got. Okay?
I know, I heard.
So you fail off your sophomore, you partially be on it your junior year, and your senior year you became a starter. And not that you started all the time, but his philosophy was, if you see the picture, you might see 30 guys there, but process of elimination, there'll be a couple guys that ain't gonna be on this varsity to play because of eligibility. And that's what John's philosophy is. And like you said, Ford Hamilton, all of those coaches know that I can't go with 15 guys, okay? Because those 15 guys are not gonna make it. I gotta go with 25 or 30 guys, bring them in, and all of them don't have to be good. But if I can just maintain 20, okay, then we have a possibility to win, okay? Because it's going to be my system or you're not going to play, okay? And then you know that. That's how coaches are.
That's right.
But with Clinton had to me, and I'm not bragging about Clinton, they had so much talent.
Yes.
And plus, Clinton and boys at that time in the 60s wasn't a zone school, okay? Like Von Harper was from Harlem, okay? Von Harper played at Boys High.
That's right.
Okay, there was a lot of guys that we had that was coming from Queens and Brooklyn, and there was a lot of guys from the Bronx going to schools in Brooklyn, because Boys High at that time, and I was boys and girls.
Yes.
Boys High at that time wasn't a zone school. See, I thought I was going to go to Taft, because Taft was in my zone, okay? But I decided I'm going up to Clinton because, you know, when you have a dream and academics wasn't part of the dream, okay? It was about, I see guys play and stuff like that. I said, damn, man, I play against him in the summertime, man. He's starting on this team. I want a piece of him.
Right.
No, I want a piece of him. Seriously, I want a piece of him. But like I said, you only play X amount of games in high school, but you got all the summer tournaments. You had the citywide, you had the pro-am, you had the, you know, the Rucker, where Rucker started with the elementary, high school, and unlimited. You had 1,000 tournaments. Brooklyn has a tournament. Projects had a tournament. So you saw those guys, okay? That was like walking around like, yeah, I'm representing Clinton. Yeah, I'm representing Hilton, White, Falcons, Floyd Lane, PSA team, and y'all got to get a piece of this, okay? And that's how it was.
You did it the year in high school, junior college, the NBA, and still had time to come back and play in the tournaments in New York City. That's what I think that makes you so special. Out of all the basketball pro, I'm talking about from my perspective, right? Because a lot of people who reach this status don't really come back and play in the tournaments.
It wasn't playing. It wasn't this. You know, people say you played all the time. I loved not the playing part. Okay. I had tournaments. I coached other kids and stuff like that. And that brought out a different personality because I tell people I was quiet and I was an introvert. So that brought a different personality out of me where I got to communicate with you. Okay, I can't just sit there and let you run up and down the floor. So that brought a different personality out of me. But it was the tournaments and the experience, the knowledge I learned from Floyd and Hilton and them to communicate with the people that was behind me. Okay, yo, you gotta go to school, man. But T, you play so, you killing them in the NBA, man. That's what I'm thinking about. You gotta go to school. You gotta give yourself a chance. I said, because nobody's gonna tell you that. Everybody's gonna look at you, the talent and ability, or you're gonna make it.
Right. That's
okay,
right.
And I'm telling you, go to school and get your education so other people can see and not if you bless, other people can see your talents. Your talent might not be the playing part. We into 2024s now. Guys are trying to get into management now. You talk about not the statistics anymore. I forgot the analytics and all that kind of stuff. And you don't have that many of us in there anymore. Okay, you got guys that doing these analytics for these teams that don't look like us.
Yep.
They ain't played no place in college.
That's right.
Okay, so the upper echelon put them down.
Yep.
Okay, and kept us out.
Yep.
So now you got guys, and I'm not gonna mention their names. They're making a lot of money. They want to buy or purchase where their dwellings are. You're talking about, I'm from a basketball player, and I'm not gonna mention any names who making a lot of money, and they have pursued these areas too. The high echelon don't want you there. You got more money. You got a couple guys that are playing currently now, are billionaires now. They got money to buy a team, okay? But they don't want you in that kind of area.
That's right.
Okay? We don't have that many GMs. We don't have that many director of player personnel. And we know the game. It's not that we invented the game, but we know the game. The knowledge that we have is going to be missed by the people behind us because the younger generation has the ability, the talent. They don't have any foundation.
How do we change that?
We got to put more of us in those type of positions, and they don't want that. I'm just telling you. I don't care about the podcast. They don't want that, okay? Because you got so much knowledge to give them about. You got to invest your money now. You making, when I was playing, I was making maybe 200, 300,000. You making 20, 30 million. Okay, and you buying 6 cars, 7 cars. Can you drive all those cars at the same time? You got 3 and 4 different houses. Every time you get moved someplace, I'm not gonna say traded, move someplace, you buy a house, and now you go someplace else, you gotta leave that house, and you gotta put that house on the market. So you're losing money. And the knowledge that we could give them is priceless. Because I would tell a youngster who's making that type of money, where do you really want to live when this thing's over? Florida, California. We got a house in Delaware. Okay, where do you want to live? Think about it. Where do you want to live? That's where your foundation starts. But your mother and father still alive? They say, oh yeah, take care of them. Because you know what, bro, while you here, they took care of your ass.
That's right.
Okay, so take care of them. And then they could take care of the house. Okay? And they could give you advice about that. But a lot of them they don't want you to give them that type of information. I'm telling you, that's priceless. They don't want that information.
Man,
And a lot of them, and you see, a lot of them get broke, they get lost, okay? And because it's not that they don't listen to you, people don't connect them with the OGs. I'm just telling you, they don't. Because some of the young guys, their head will swell if some of the OGs got to them. Yeah, man, you're making so why don't you invest some of that money, and move it around, Junior Bridgman, he played for Milwaukee.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just telling you guys. Albert King in New Jersey.
Yes.
Okay, so what they did was they invested other venues. Yeah, they would love to be part of an NBA franchise, but they invested because and the doctors always say don't eat that fast foods. We eating it. I'm just saying we eating it.
Right.
Okay, so Junior I think had Wendy's and stuff like that, and I think Albert because I
Burger King.
I saw Albert about 2 weeks ago, and I think he got one or two or three franchises like that. That's where you invest your money, even though you don't have to eat it. But people, especially the kids, they go in there. All right. Instead of buying stuff that you ain't gonna use, okay? I mean, guys got a garage, and they got not even a garage. They got a house full of 12, 13, 14 cars. Come on, man, you could only drive one. All right, so when I was growing up, to go to Clinton, we had to either take and most of the time it was the train. Okay, or the bus. And I tell people my best motive, okay, I had a bicycle. Okay, early on I was riding my bike. Damn, man, you still riding your bike? Hell yeah, I'm still riding my bike. That way I don't have to give you a ride, I don't have to give you a ride, I have to give nobody a ride. And plus I keep myself in shape, okay, riding the bike.
Well, you looking young every day, man, and I want to hear the secrets to that, man, and how you keep it so young and vibrant, man, so we can get and talk to some more of these gentlemen. How do you do it, brother?
It's embedded in you, because when I start, not knowing where I was going to be, especially when I was in high school, I just felt that, and I wasn't a marathon runner, running and riding my bike, I was free. Okay, a lot of people say you was free. I was free. I mean, all I could see was the road I had to go around, the streets I had to go. I tell people I was free. I'm running, and ask anybody who I coach, they said, if you're not in shape, you ain't gonna play on this team. Because most coaches give you instructions. Back then, I didn't have to give you instructions. Meet me at the track. Okay, and guys are saying, damn, are you gonna run me to death? Yeah, I'm gonna run you to death because that's gonna get me in shape. But you know that when we go to practice, I know that you're ready, okay, and you're not giving up anything. But that's the first thing. It was a training process. See, guys got personal trainers, they got personal chefs and shit now. We didn't have that. We had to take care of our body with damn near nothing, okay? And I tell people, it was here, okay? It was here and it was here. I want to be not better than anybody, but I want you to know that I'm coming, okay? I'm going to be there, okay? I'm not going to be one of them shy guys that sit by and watch you play and I'm all at you. I am. But I want to show you that when I cross that line, you got to be ready for this, okay? Because I got something for y'all. Just like you got something for me, I got something for y'all.
Well, I appreciate this time, man, and I would definitely love to bring you on the podcast so we can just have a full sit down without, all the chaos and everything, man.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Listen.
Thank you.
My hero.
All right.
Thank you for everything you did for us, all right?
Okay.
Appreciate you. Nathaniel Archibald, top 50, y'all. Don't never forget it.
Yeah, I got promoted.